Kirsty TV is about the power of sharing stories that heal ourselves and heal others. My guests share their most intimate stories and lessons learned along the way.
I have what I call a compassionate rant about depression. Well, compassionate because I work with people who are dealing with depression, and I see how dysfunctional and how difficult it is in their lives. But it's a rant because I'm up to here with how the world talks about depression. We treat people as a label rather than as a human being, and we've got to change that. Because what I found is that depression itself, when it starts as a series of symptoms. Some of you might identify with these things. You feel down, you feel unmotivated, you might not feel like doing the things that you used to do for fun. And you notice that you're not as effective in the workplace. You might not be as friendly. You might be more irritable. All of these things are just kind of little niggly things. And you'll have stories, oh, I'm stressed out, I got too much going on at work. But these early signs that something's not quite working. But the question is, what are they signs of? They're not signs of some big label, there's something wrong with you. They're signs that something's maybe out of balance. I did my PhD research on overtraining and burnout. And what I found with athletes is when they get out of balance from too much stress, physical stress, they get very tired. When they get very tired, they get worn out and they don't feel like doing anything. But if they keep pushing, they keep training hard, and they don't do something about that fatigue, they start to get unmotivated. Eventually, they find themselves in a pit of chronic fatigue with all the same symptoms as depression. So in some ways, chronic fatigue and overtraining in sport is very similar to depression in that it's created by too much stress and not enough recovery, not enough niceness, not enough good things to rejuvenate yourself and your body. Now sometimes that vulnerability to imbalance, it has biological and neurological roots, and part of the recovery process is finding the right doctor and the right medication. But sometimes it's more about reducing the stresses in your life, finding ways to rejuvenate yourself, trying to be nice to yourself. Sometimes the biggest stressor is the judgment that you hear in your head every day for you. That thing whirring around, that mind, that thought just says, I'm not good enough. And it judges everything about you. That's what's getting you down. What you're missing is that you're extraordinary. There's a brilliance in you that's hidden deep from view. And you need to connect to people who see that and can bring it out in you. Ask for help. There's no weakness in admitting to a vulnerability. It takes an extraordinary amount of strength to admit to it and to ask for help. But that's what's going to make the difference. I call it weak is tough. So go out there, admit to your vulnerability, and go and ask for help.
I started having massive outbursts of anger where I was breaking my knuckles and toes, punching and kicking things, and then I just started
And are people seeing this?
Yeah, my friends saw it. But again, it's like a bunch of teenage boys aren't going to be like, whoa, dude.